Hello. Hi, all. I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I like to talk about how I've lost 97.4 pounds since starting the ketogenic protocol, how you might be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your Saturday for this live stream. And I see some people there already. Um, I'm going to jump on in. Now, this is a live stream, so I will be diverting my attention occasionally to people who have taken the time to make comments, and I appreciate that. But, sorry, it's Jack in the background. See Jack? That's Jack. Can you hear him? He's drinking water. Thank you, Jack. Oh, dear. Sorry about that. Live TV. We're coming up on an interesting year, the year 2020, which, as I was just saying earlier today, sounds like a made-up year to me. But it also can be equated with 2020 vision, 2020 hindsight. How about we try some 2020 foresight and a little clear vision on not only what the ketogenic protocol can and won't do, but on looking forward to 2020, the year 2020. That said, I recommend not waiting until January 1st or 2nd before improving your life. Start today if you haven't started already. I was at a function last night with a couple of keto luminaries in the world, and it was a civilian function, a social function. And I was talking about something. I had arrived, and I experienced something called Raynaud's phenomenon, where when I get a blast of cold or wet, or cold and wet, my extremities, my fingers, and sometimes my toes will simply have the blood does not go in there. They don't know what causes it. I'm not particularly worried about it. But I got to the place with my lovely mate, and we were socializing, but my fingers looked like cadavers. So I finally said, I need to run my hands under some really hot water because it wasn't resolving. And a keto luminary, tongue in cheek, said, "Wait, you mean keto doesn't fix Raynaud's phenomenon?" No, it doesn't. With a little clear vision, we need to realize what the protocol is, how it can help, and some things that it's not going to help. So let's talk about that. A quick primer. The ketogenic protocol, as I learned it and as I have practiced it, is carbohydrate intake limited to 20 grams or fewer a day, total carbs, not net. Eat fatty sources of protein and any foods that are found on page 4. By the way, links to anything I mentioned will hopefully be found below. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop when you're satiated. That's the sum total of the protocol. Let's have a little clear vision, a little 2020 vision. It has nothing to do with the M word, macros. Excuse me. I have to make a note to myself. It has nothing to do with grams of protein or grams of fat. It is not about getting in the fat. Eat the fat that comes with the protein naturally. Eat the poultry with the skin, the eggs with the yolks. Eat the ribeye with the fat. Eat the bacon with the fat. You don't have to add fat. It's not the presence of fat that gets us burning fat for fuel. It's the absence of carbs. It's not about, as I practice it, it's not about looking to an app to tell you when or what to eat. It is about listening to your body. Keep your carbohydrate intake restricted. When we start doing this, our appetite and hunger is naturally suppressed. The food that we eat is nutritionally dense. You don't need one supplement, one kit, one pill, one exogenous anything. You don't need a meal plan. If just eat food, just lay off the carbs. Don't stress about, oh my gosh, can I only eat one meal a day? No, you eat when you're hungry, don't eat if you're not hungry, et cetera, et cetera. The goal is to start burning fat for fuel. That's it. Another little 2020 keto. The ketogenic protocol is not a weight loss protocol. It is a fat burning protocol. You can be burning fat for fuel, be in ketosis, and not lose weight. And I'm living proof of this because I'm essentially weight stable for now going on 3 years. And I'm talking about weight stable. I'm talking about a fluctuation of a couple of 3 pounds over 3 years. I'm in ketosis all the time. I've not been out of ketosis that I know of. If being in ketosis equaled weight loss, I would be see-through right now. I would be lower than my birth weight. So a little clear vision. It is not weight loss. It is fat burning. So how can that be? I'm burning fat for fuel. Well, if we are consuming dietary fat, oily coffees, so-called bulletproof coffee, if we're drinking back MCT oil, medium chain triglyceride, that's what that stands for. If we are eating fat bombs, if we're simply eating more fuel than our body energy requirement needs, there you go. So I know for the last 3 years what to eat to maintain my weight, to essentially maintain my weight. So there's a little 2020 keto for you. The thing is, the food is easy. Dr. Eric Westman's page 4, link below. His certified, absolutely bona fide page 4, link below. If it's not on there, don't eat it. Heads up. Not only are things like almond flour and oat flake not on the, or I don't know what it's called, not on the list. Almonds are not on the list. So just stick to the food list. Now, will sticking to the food list, burning fat for fuel, fix everything? No. As a matter of fact, if we have trouble with our relationships, this won't necessarily fix problems with relationships. It may make some of them worse because sometimes our relationships with friends or partners or lovers are predicated on us being a hot mess. And when we start feeling better about ourselves and holding ourselves differently and expecting more for ourselves, sometimes the people that were in our lives are not comfortable with that. A little 2020 keto, it won't fix a bad relationship, because if your relationship was bad because you were overweight, it doesn't say so much about the relationship, does it? Now, granted, we are visual people. I cannot show you my before photos. You are welcome to go to my blog and with just CaseyDurango.com and click on the before tabs. I was really heavy for 30 years. My husband, a good-looking man, fit, trim, loved me throughout. He's happier for me now because I am happier for me. But our relationship has only been enhanced because I'm happier. I feel better about myself. If you're in a terrible job, being on a ketogenic protocol won't fix that. But it may make you feel better about yourself to the point where you get out of that job and you're confident enough to apply for a promotion or a raise or apply for a different job or start to follow your actual calling. There are certain medical conditions which are totally fine. People, sometimes we default to, well, can I do this because I have hypothyroidism? I have hyperthyroidism. I had my gallbladder out. I've had a hysterectomy. I've been through menopause. I've had a lot of children. What's another one that comes up a lot? Those are the big ones. Thyroid, menopause, hysterectomy. I don't have hypo or hyperthyroidism, but I've been through a lot of the other stuff. Started this when I was 55. For those of you who don't know, I am 61 years old. I started this protocol on January 8th of 2014, so almost 6 years ago, when I was 55. That also lays waste to the claim that it's not sustainable. Dude, it's sustainable. All it is eating food. There's nothing magical about it. You know what's not sustainable for me? Is depriving myself of nutrition and trying to force more activity while consuming fewer calories and asking my body to go further on less fuel. Would we ask our car to do that? Have a stern lecture with our car. I know you're designed to get 16 miles to the gallon. I want you to now get 20 miles to the gallon. And if you don't, car, then you're just lazy. No, it's just not the way it works. Keto vision. A little clear vision. We want to put obstacles in our way. We want to tell ourselves why we are the special snowflake that can't do it. Easy for you to say, but I'm from the South, where everything is breaded and biscuits and gravy. And okay, so easy for you to say, but I'm Italian. Everything is pasta. And easy for you to say, but I'm English and everything has potatoes and bread. Easy for every culture. Easy for you to say, but I'm from Colombia, South America, and everything is rice and beans and yuca and papas and arepas and patacones. My husband is from Colombia, South America. He has been following this protocol, probably more strictly than I, for 5.5 years. If he can do it, culturally speaking, any culture can do it, because he never had an issue with food. He never had an issue with weight. He wanted to prolong his health. He wanted and wants athletic stamina for cycling or his labor-intensive job. So we want to put obstacles in our own way. A little 2020 keto tells us, you know what, let's not do that. It can be done. We can figure this out. If big fat Casey can do it, anybody can do it. Because I was fat for 30, not just pudge, I was obese for 30 years and had given up. I was no longer trying to lose weight. I just didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. By the way, this is the cure for type 2 diabetes. If you are on insulin, do not start this unless you're under a doctor's care. Because if you start this the way it's designed, your blood sugar could drop too low. So you must see a doctor if you are going to do this, if you're on insulin for type 2 diabetes. Okay, I am going to divert my attention right now to, excuse me, I have to wet my whistle, to comments. And I am so happy when people comment. And let me see. Okay, the first thing that comes up to my, Jacqueline Hitchin writes, salmon, pork, duck, prawns, duck. I don't know what the question was, but apparently the answer was salmon, prawns, duck. Hey, Karen. Karen Barnhart writes, I've been on keto since July. Other than the weight loss, the greatest thing has been the lessening of brain fog. My mood is much improved as well. My husband says I'm getting sassier all the time. I believe that the reason my husband started this was because he saw not so much the weight loss. I mean, I did lose weight, but I was a normal loser. I was not a slow loser or I was a normal loser. The weight didn't peel off of me. The first year, and I'm 5'1", so I had a lot of weight to lose. The first year I lost 47 pounds, which is on average less than a pound a week. So it wasn't the dramatic weight loss. My husband saw the change. He possibly saw the spark of the person whom he met when we got married. Now, we only knew each other for 3 months before we got married, and he spoke very little English. I spoke no Spanish. So there was a definite spark. And that was 39 years ago. It's lasted. But yeah, brain fog, mood regulation. Keep in mind, if you suffer from anxiety, depression, this may not be an immediate fix. For me, it was pretty dramatic, but I was never medicated for anxiety or depression, whether or not I should have been. I wasn't. I declined. So again, clear vision. It doesn't fix everything. It may help. Grand Sobe, on Wednesday, one of the viewers stated that they were experiencing almost a cleaning, organizing cycle after keto. I am too. I'm going to call it weight loss nesting. This is very interesting. Thank you for sharing that, Grand Sobe. And I'm going to say a little plug for my Patreon group. I have a patron-only group. We have patron-only video sessions, patron-only live streams. I do about 20 videos a month for patrons. We have a patron-only forum, and I do one-on-ones. This whole thing about clearing clutter, getting rid of extraneous things in our lives is a real theme. Now, I don't know whether it's age-related. I don't know whether it's time of life related. I don't know what it is. But somehow, as you start to peel away the layers of fat and you peel away the thoughts of food, which allow more time, more brain space, it's like, man, how long has that spare room looked like that? How did all that stuff get in there? And I've talked often with my patrons about the blue room, which was as close to a hoarding room as I ever wanted to get. It was just full of remnants from our 3 grown children that had been left over the years. And right now, I think it has 6 bicycles in it, maybe 7. I don't know. But I determined I was going to clear out that room. I didn't do it. And this is actually a good metaphor for the protocol. You know, if you say, if someone had said, you're going to lose 100 pounds, I'd say, if only. I'd been trying for seriously decades to just lose 10 pounds a year. I'd gotten to the point, just let me lose 10 pounds this year. If someone had said, you're going to lose 100 pounds, I would have thought, well, it's impossible. It's too much. Sometimes the enormity of a task gets in the way of actually starting the task. So I set a timer and a schedule. I mean, a set of parameters for myself for the blue room. I'm going to do this for 5 minutes, and all I'm going to do is clear out clothing that is white. Because, there were, like I said, remnants for my kids. Youth through college, they just kind of left stuff, and they'd been put on notice, either come get it or it's gone. So it's amazing when you say, I'm just going to clear out clothing that is white, and I'm going to give myself 5 minutes. It's the same thing as saying, I'm not going to think about never having another French fry. I'm just not going to have a French fry today at this meal. I might have it next meal, but I'm not going to have it. This is straight out of 12-step. I'm just not going to do it now. Don't try to think about what you have to do for the rest of your life. We need to think about what we need to do right now, this decision, this moment, this mouthful. A little 20/20 keto, a little clear vision. Don't think about what you have to do for the rest of your life. Think about right now. Frankly, we don't have control over what's going to happen in 6.5 years. We have no idea. For all I know, we'll all be holograms by then. We'll not exist anymore. Only Amazon and Google, they will be talking to each other, and we'll all be holograms. And hopefully we'll all be healthy and thin. But a little clear vision about what really we need to be doing. We didn't get way overweight in a week. And we can see great stories of people who drop 27 pounds the first month and 24 pounds the next month and 22 pounds the next month. Those are the exceptions to the rule. Most people are like me. I am not a special snowflake. I am you. Seriously, I am you. Male, female, young, old, I am you. So take it moment by moment, decision by decision, mouthful by mouthful. That's all it is. Like most things in life. We don't expect for us to be making decisions about how we will be having a conversation with our child in 5 years. We don't expect to know that. If our kid is 12 now, we can't anticipate the conversation we'll have when that kid is 15. No, we have to deal with the kid right now at 12 or at 18 or at 21. We can't anticipate the challenge we'll have with our best friend in 5 years, no, or with our partner. We don't even know what job we'll be in 5 years. But somehow we want to know what's going to happen with our diet. We want an app to tell us. Another plug. There's a page on my 20, you asked, and so I'm telling you. 2020 Go Keto with Casey calendar. This is like my 3rd or 4th year of this, and people ask about it. And one of the months is where is it? Don't let an app tell you what to eat. Don't let an app tell you what to eat. Do you know that there's something called a fasting app? There are also apparently fasting bars. So we were talking last night. I don't think that word means what you think it means. You don't need an app to tell you if you're going to fast, which I don't do. Fasting, I applaud for religious, spiritual, cultural, political reasons. But as far as for weight loss, just don't eat if you're not hungry. Eat if you're hungry. Everyone needs to do what works for them. For me, it would not work because then I would have intrusive thoughts of food, which I don't want to have. I'm very happy to not have the intrusive thoughts of food. But you don't need an app to tell you how to fast, because fasting means just don't eat. Actually, that was one of the topics that came up. Said the only app you need if you're going to fast is your watch. I'm sorry. Okay, I am now going to turn again. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Making notes to myself. Okay, excuse me. So someone's going by quickly. Sorry about that. This is true. After dropping all that weight made me want to clean out my house. It's a thing, right? Writes Fat to Keto. Paul reads books. Like I said, I've been on keto for 3 weeks, and besides the weight loss, my doctor cut my metformin in half, and my A1C is down to 5.8. Feeling better about myself, can keep my mind focused on things. It's just food. Isn't it stunning? It's just food. Michelle Tamayo, she's going to tell you you don't need fish oil. We're not whales. Someone's answering on my behalf. Thank you very much. Lee Jeffries writes, Michelle, get a beautiful plate, use cucumbers instead of crackers, and make a beautiful appetizer plate. Cream cheese, shrimp, small bites, eat slowly, take time, maybe 1 glass of wine. That I don't know what the question was, but that's a beautiful answer. Can I tell you at this function last night, and I don't want to call out the names of the people because it was civilian time, and they are entitled to their privacy. There was a beautiful spread. It was rich, delicious, and I don't think, and many of the people there did not even know that they were in the home of the world expert on this protocol. They were just neighbors. And none of them turned their noses up at the spread. There was smoked salmon dip. There was guacamole. There was shrimp. There was a little round of, people thought it was bread. It was chicken breast used for dipping. Oh my gosh. 2 types of deviled eggs with curry, one without. Sliced bell peppers and cucumbers. So if you're wondering about how to get through the holidays, it can be done. We tell ourselves, oh my gosh, I'm powerless against XYZ. I really have a problem. And I'm talking to myself here. Anything I say to anybody else, I've said to myself. I have a problem with a mature person saying I'm powerless against an Oreo or a Snickerdoodle or Girl Scout cookie time or death by chocolate cake or my Aunt Ida's pecan pie. No. I have postcards that I send out to some of my patrons every other month or so, to a little inspiration, like I can and I will. But one of them is, I'm stronger than a cookie. Because aren't we stronger than cookies? Please, seriously, aren't we? We've been conditioned to make this harder than it is. Because the people who want us to eat the food, that's their job. I understand that. I have no complaint about that. It's not evil. It's commerce. Their job is to try to tell us we must eat their food. Our job is to say thanks, but no thanks. Let someone down the street do that, but that does not serve me well. Hey, Lori. I'm so glad to see you here. Cynthia Leith, my blood sugar was 123 in June 2019. This morning, 72. But for me, I had to fast. Just eating keto didn't lose after the first 12 pounds. I was stable for over a year at 12 pounds before starting fast. I'm going to tell you this. Okay, I appreciate the input, Cynthia. Do you know what that is? That's just eating less food. That's all that is. You just started eating less. You consumed less fuel. For whatever mechanism we put in, for me, I push the peckishness. Instead of the moment that I feel a little peckish, which means, oh, I could eat, push that. It's one of the months of the calendar. Push the peckishness. Not going to pass out. Not going to die. We consume more fuel than we need. As a culture, we consume more fuel than we need. This is evidenced by the fact that there is an outrageous obesity and diabetes epidemic. It has nothing to do with whether we fast or not. It's we consume more fuel than we need. Consume the fuel that our body requires for its energy needs. And that varies person to person, gender to gender, whatever it might be. That's all it is. I'm now watching. What, my watch? Someone's asking about my watch? Someone said I tried some chicken liver pate. Awesome. Zoe Harcum. Listen to her if you get a chance. Zoe Harcombe. She's a Brit. She is not a nutritionist. She is a mathematician, but she's brilliant. She has said, if you look at the data, there is simply no food more nutrient dense than animal liver. So there you go. Are you asking about my watch? Okay, this is a very old. This is one of the original water resistant smartwatches. This is a Garmin 920 XT. I don't even know if they still make it. I got this as a gift to myself because when I was really big, and go to my blog and you can see the before photos, and I was there at the triathlons trying to swim, bike, run my giant self through things. And it was a rough time. I was hungry all the time. I was sore all the time. And over the course of 6 months of training for and participating in 4 or 5 sprint level triathlons, I lost all of 11 pounds. And I was unhappy the whole time. Then I lost weight when I started keto. And after about 40 pounds, I said, wow, I bet that would be different if I did a sprint level triathlon. Let me treat myself. I never treated myself. I just didn't feel good treating myself. I didn't feel like I deserved it. Clothing, jewelry, makeup, anything. But I really splurged on this watch. I've, of course, never done another triathlon since I got it. And I keep it. It's out of date. It's not fashion forward. But this really means something to me. This represents to me, and I've had to replace the band like 4 times. This represents to me a sea change in my life. I went from being that perfectly round person in a blueberry blue swimsuit and swim, whatever they're called, swim shorts, triathlon shorts at a triathlon, mortified to somebody different. And not just, oh, I was always in there. No, I'm a different person. I behave differently. If there's something else, oh, I do want to bring up the fact that there are some events coming up. There are free events you can attend. Every first Tuesday of the month in North Carolina, the Dr. Westman and I are the Durham support group meeting. It's his meeting. I moderate it with him in Durham, North Carolina. First Tuesday of every month at the Durham Hilton near Duke. Second Monday of the month, Go Keto with Casey meetup in Greensboro. Free. These are free. Just show up. I never know who's going to show up. At Wine Styles, which is a wine shop at Friendly Center in Greensboro. Third Wednesday of the month, Wednesday Wine Day, is Wine Day with Amy Berger and me. And that is, the link is somewhere below here. And that is a live stream through Crowdcast where Amy and I are both online. It's a registered event. Dr. Westman's Keto retreat in January in Beaufort, North Carolina, and my Go Keto with Casey roadshow in Tarpon Springs, Florida in February. Links below. I'm sure something is coming up, and I can't remember it right now. But if you need a group, you need a place, you need there's a digitalketo.com. There's a meetup in Charlotte, North Carolina. Go there, free. But if there's not one near you, start one. Be the change. I promise you, if you want to get some support and know some things, there are 50 people within 5 miles of you that do. Put a index card up at a bulletin board, in the library, at your coffee shop, at your church. Start a meetup online, meetup.com, whatever it might be. Post it on Facebook. The food is easy. Keep it to page 4. Don't eat if you're not hungry, which is not easy. Stop when you're satiated. It's getting through holidays. Aunt Ida's pecan pie. How do I deal with the fact that I have a food pusher in my life? How do I deal with the fact that there's somebody in my life that doesn't necessarily want me to feel better about myself? These are the support things that we need. Food is easy. Really, once you get past the first week, seriously. I thought I could not give up tortilla chips and told myself I could not give up tortilla chips. I told myself that for years, and I couldn't until I did. And now you could put down a basket of gravel in front of me. I would have no more interest in it. And then the tortilla chips, then the gravel. I promise, if I can do this, you can do this. For those of you who are wondering, I did do a Stitch Fix unboxing a few days ago, and many of you may not care. I sent everything back except for that kick. I won't say the word. That killer suede jacket and the silk blue and black blouse. As a matter of fact, I wore that blouse last night. I look pretty good in it, I must say. I think. If I didn't, everyone had the good grace not to tell me. Making a note to myself to answer a question. I love so you guys are creating your own support here. If you can see the chat, you're answering each other's questions. You're offering support. I've not been monitoring. I hope the answers are helpful. You never know who you're influencing. You never know who's watching. Someone who may never reach out to you, may never tap you on the shoulder, may never say, oh my gosh, I saw what happened to you. I overheard you speaking about what you're doing. And now I'm 28 pounds lighter and I'm off of 2 of my medications. You may never know about that. Tolman says, if you save one soul, you're said to have saved the world. Now, we may not be saving souls, but we might be saving lives, and we might be saving self-esteem and happiness and productivity. Keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day, total not net. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop when you're satiated. That's it. Honestly, there's nothing more than that. I promise you. And if I can do this, you can do this. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your day. And we'll get through 2020 just fine. We really will.